Hi, it's September 20th and I'm standing next to my plum tree, but this is not a plum. This is a cherry graft on our plum. If you have watched my previous videos, you will know I have done quite a few cherry grafts and many of them have failed, but some of them are successful, and today we'll show you one of those successful results and how we made that graft. This is a T-bud graft, and we did this graft early August, so it's been about 6 weeks and you can see the beautiful growth here. So let's watch how we make those grafts. The first step I took was selecting a healthy branch with well-developed buds. I showed it up close so the details were clear. When choosing material for a T-bud graft, I looked specifically for shoots from the current year's growth, since younger wood tends to take more successfully. I focused on the middle portion of the branch where the buds had matured and were plump. These were vegetative buds, meaning they would grow into shoots and leaves rather than flowers. Flower buds are not ideal to produce strong grafts, so avoid them if you can. After selecting the right branch, I cut it carefully and then removed the leaves. This step is crucial because if the leaves were left attached, they would draw moisture out of the cutting, causing the buds to dry out too quickly. This is important if you're spending a lot of time during the grafting. Dehydration is one of the most common reasons why budding fails. So removing the leaves helped preserve moisture in the branch and gave the buds a much better chance of taking. Once I chose a healthy sign stick with plum vegetative buds, I carefully cut one bud shield with a thin slice of bark, making sure the bud remained intact. Before starting, I had sharpened my knife and I made sure it was clean. Avoid buds that are too close to the tip, often too young, or too close to the base, often too woody. Always cut away from yourself to avoid injury. Start about ½ an inch below the bud and slice upward, taking a thin sliver of bark and a bit of wood behind the bud. End the cut about ½ inch above the bud. This ensures the bud is shielded and is easy to insert. Try to keep the motion smooth so the cut surface is clean. Ragged edges heal poorly. Ideally, you remove most of the hardwood behind the bud so that only a thin shield of bark with the bud remains. Leaving too much wood can make it hard to slide the bud under the bark because it's too thick. Handle the bud by the edges of the bark only. Oils or dirt from your fingers can interfere with healing. Work quickly once the bud is cut. If it sits in the open air too long, it dries out and loses viability. On the rootstock, I made a T-shaped incision in the bark. One vertical cut with a small horizontal cut at the top. Cut just through the bark, deep enough to reach the cambium layer, but not into the wood. Cutting into the wood reduces the chance of a clean fit and can damage the rootstock. The vertical cut is typically about less than an inch long. The horizontal cut should be just wide enough to insert the bud shield, about ¼ inch across. After making the incision, gently pry open the bark flaps with the back of the knife blade or the knife tip. The bark should lift easily if the rootstock is actively growing and the sap is flowing. This is a sign of good timing. Keep cuts smooth and controlled. Avoid sawing or jagged motions. Next, I slid the prepared bud shield under the bark flaps, aligning it so that the edges of the scion matched tightly with the cambium of the rootstock. Good cambium to cambium contact was the key for a successful graft. Finally, I wrapped the graft side securely with budding tape. The goal was to seal the area so the bud stayed firmly in place and didn't lose moisture. Keeping the bud from drying out was critical for healing and callus formation. This was a successful completed T-bud graft, one of the most reliable budding methods for stone fruits like cherry and plum. That completed the T-bud grafting process. With time, proper care, and a little patience, this bud would heal into the rootstock and grow into a strong new branch, and you have seen the leaves already growing successfully. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with others who might be interested in grafting. Don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials and fruit tree grafting or other gardening techniques. And if you have questions or experience to share, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and happy grafting!